long story short, in July, right, the first week of July, after she finished her summer classes for college, I took her out. Like I was like, oh, this is a celebration. Like because you finished your class, you've been doing good, and ended up telling her how I felt, and then she basically said that she didn't want me to hate me. I just see you as a friend, and I was like, okay, I understand. And then I'm not gonna lie, I feel like I'm doing something stupid where I'm like, I'm continuing to talk to her and still be friendly to her.
Yeah.
And the thing is that we still go to the gym together. Like, I think a month before, I ended up telling her she would ask me for advice on the gym because she can notice I lost a lot of weight. And I was like, I have no problem helping you. But she has anxiety when going to the gym. She doesn't like when people come up to her.
Right.
So I have no problem. Even like today, I went to the gym with her in the morning. But I was getting to a point where I'm like, I'm not comfortable being her friend anymore. Like I wanted something to begin with, and I'm just doing it because I feel like I have obligation because there was like an event before I asked her out. Where I took her to a party with her coworkers.
Right.
And not to get into too much what happened with her family, but she was upset about it. And I told her, like, just know that I'm here for you. You have a shoulder to cry on. And she did. I ended up letting her cry on my shoulder at the party for like an hour. And then I feel like her actions and her words don't line up. Where I try to get her up because, it's time to go home. Like, I know she's still upset, but it's time to go home. And when I'm trying to get her up, she's like, do me a favor, just don't leave me. And I'm like, all right, I'll never leave you. And I'm like, now I just basically messed myself up because, like, I feel like I have an obligation to stay with her now. But even though she doesn't like me like that. Okay. So the thing is that this Saturday, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I don't mean to cut you off.
No, you can tell me give me the whole scenario and then I'll give you the breakdown.
So this Saturday, right? We're going to go to work. We're going to be close together. And then I'm going to pick up our mutual friend just to have a quick, like, dinner and then drop them all home. And I was planning on, I don't know if I should go through with this, but I was going to plan on telling her, I was like, just so you know, this is probably the last time we're going to hang out together. I don't see you as just a friend anymore. I still have feelings for you. I know you don't like me that way, but I can't pretend like I don't have feelings for you. Like, I still like you. And I think it'd be best if I just distance myself from you.
Okay. Now I'll give you a breakdown of this. So, there's a lot of misconceptions, I think, that you have in this particular scenario, and I don't really blame you for these misconceptions. I think a lot of guys have them. But the first, I would say, big no-no in this scenario is the whole confessing feelings thing. I feel like is very outdated. Here's why, man. Girls depend on some level of mystery or mystique in order to be attracted to a guy. When you tell them outright, oh, I'm interested in you, now essentially anything that was, like even if she was a little bit interested in you, now she's on the spot. So essentially in their mind, you have to understand how this comes off, right? When you tell them I like you, what you're essentially doing without asking is, hey, I'm telling you I like you because I want you to validate me by telling me that you like me. And even if they're mid-level interest, if they're not 100% about you, they're going to say they're not interested. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So I think a lot of guys get this wrong. They think, oh, I'm going to confess to her, right? By doing this, what you're essentially doing is you're putting an ultimatum, but passively. You're passively putting an ultimatum on that relationship saying, hey, so I'm going to tell you this because I really want I want the validation of you liking me back. And if they don't give it to you, now you're stuck. You're like, oh, damn, now I guess she doesn't like me, right? Whereas if you had just played it correctly, I actually believe that you could have had way better results. And I'll tell you what I mean by this. So in this scenario I mean, you allowed her to be friends with her, which was obviously a huge mistake. And now when you tell her again that I can't hang out with her, now once again, you're putting her in this tough position where you're essentially seeking her validation. Where I think what you should have done from the very beginning is you never tell her directly. You don't want to, a lot of guys make a mistake of telling girls directly in words what they feel. Girls already know passively. So I think it's way better to communicate on their wavelength versus trying to be logical in your male brain and say, oh, if I tell her that I like her, maybe she'll tell me back. You understand? So what you should do is you should show interest and then you should walk away for a bit and then let her come to you. This is how you discover these things. You understand? You always want to play a push and pull game. This is a way better way of creating interest. But now, essentially what you've done is you've allowed her to basically be your best friend, get all the benefits from you without feeling the need to commit in any way or give you anything. And because you've allowed that to happen.
Yeah.
If you had pulled back earlier, she would automatically, passively through your behavior, understand, oh, this guy's not going to give me infinite attention. Maybe I do like him, right? Maybe he'll go somewhere else. You have to create those feelings. Otherwise, she'll keep you as a best friend. But if she, for some reason, if you've done something that's made you appear weak to her, girls have no problem keeping you around as a friend forever if you allow it. That's my point. And you allowed her to keep you as a friend. And you basically told her, no, it's okay. I'll always be here for you, regardless if you like me or not. I'll wait for you. And she's like, okay, I guess. Sweet. Perfect. You know?
Yeah.
And yeah, at some point, like part of that attraction process, what guys don't understand is being able to say no is a very powerful thing. It's very attractive. A lot of people are going to tell you that's not true. But the truth is that girls like guys that can say no.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think in this scenario, she had mid-level interest. I think you did a lot of things to improve yourself, but then you went wrong where you essentially told her, oh no, I'll wait for you forever, or I like you. And these are very submissive type characteristics. Do you understand what I'm saying when I say submissive?
Yeah.
Yeah, you're putting her on a pedestal. Notice how when guys really like girls, like guys that are successful with girls, notice how they pretty much never go up to them and say, oh, I really like you up front. You ever pay attention to that?
I feel like I've seen that in high school. I feel like I've seen that in high school. Because I don't mean to interrupt you, but this is like the first girl I've liked since high school. Because like, not to get too much detail, I've always been like the fat guy in high school. Gotcha. So after years of just dealing with it, it's like, all right, let me actually try this weight loss thing, and it worked. And physically, I feel better and everything. Mentally, I'm still working on. I'll be honest, but it's like I've never had like any actual dating experience.
Yeah, that's fair, man. I mean, that's totally. Yeah, I mean, you just don't have a lot of experience. That's totally fine, right? So that's why I'm glad that you came, so that we can discuss it, right? I would say a lot of the conceptions that you may have are probably formulated by other people that they tell you it works, but in reality, it doesn't. So even like I said, this is a common thing that a lot of guys do, right? They feel that they feel the need to confess because they're stuck in this traditional box where, oh, but by traditional standards, a man must confess his love for a woman, and then a woman decides. But now by doing that, you're essentially saying, hey, you are better than I am. When in reality, what you want to do is you want to curate a bunch of emotions. You want to get them to come all the way to you. And then when she admits to you, well, at that point, your investment is already clear, right? You understand that how that dynamic is very different than you basically going up to a girl and be like, hey, I really like you. I would like you to be my girlfriend, right? That comes off very much, I'm going to put it weak for a lack of a better term. It doesn't stimulate the emotions, you know. It doesn't create a roller coaster of feelings. This is the things you have to think about when it comes to attraction with women. You want to create a roller coaster of feelings. You don't want to be upfront with everything you feel or want. That's not interesting. You understand that, right?
Yeah, I get you.
Like when I tell you, like in this format, hopefully you can understand, right? So like I wouldn't worry about it in this case. But I would just be very careful. Like, don't be the one as the guy to always be the one to talk about feelings. That's another thing a lot of guys make a mistake when they're not experienced, right? They always talk about their feelings so much. Like, oh, I like you too much, and I have to, that it just doesn't come off strong. A super, like a masculine man that has experience, that knows what he's doing, won't say that. So I want you to try to emulate that a little bit. If you like what you saw, subscribe to my channel and check out my website in the description to book a call. Thanks for watching.